People always ask me what it's like to drive this car. All I can really say is it's very exciting. Really, when it starts boosting up, it's just, it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Now with the new turbo setup also, the car really has a very tough time staying on the road. I look forward to getting in this car every day or every opportunity I have. But ultimately, the car is just very, very much fun to drive. My name is Jim Garitsis. This is my 1990 Skyline GTR. Ever since I was a kid, I had a love for American muscle cars. Growing up, my first car was a 1967 Camaro. I fell in love with the Camaro. I'm very proud to say that I've probably owned every generation Camaro that there is. My favorite one being a 1970 split bumper Camaro that I had with an 871 supercharger on it. That car was quite the beast. Ironically, in Massachusetts, I was labeled as the Camaro man. But ultimately, I decided to cross over to the import world. That's when I decided to try it out, and honestly, I don't think I can ever look back, especially with this car here. The GTR is by far one of my favorite cars that I've ever built. One thing that I love about this car is that I can do everything with it. It just handles amazingly, and the technology dating back 28 years is just absolutely amazing, especially with some of the newer things that they've added. I originally bought this car 3 years ago. The plans were to drive it as is, really not do much to it. But after realizing what a GTR is all about, I couldn't help but start modifying it. The goal is to hit 1,000 horsepower. Really, that's what we've wanted to do since day one when we started building this car. It is a street car, so 1,000 horsepower is not easy to achieve, especially on the street. We do want to bring the car to the track. We would love to see what it'll do. Based on what we're told, if we can hit 1,000 horsepower, we are expecting to have it be at least a 9-second car, depending on, of course, what changes we make, whether we keep it an H pattern or we convert it to automatic. That's where we are at this point. We're waiting to see, of course, what the car will do once we get it to the track, and then ultimately decide in moving forward. Working on this car has been a lot of fun, especially knowing that I'm working on it with my son. We've been building cars for quite some time. His car's sitting in the back there. He also has an RB-powered Nissan 240SX. The one thing that I would say is that it's brought us very close. We hang out together, we do things together, and he also can input his ideas with what we need to do. So it's been a lot of fun. One day, me and my son were watching a Motive DVD video on YouTube, and we stumbled across a gentleman out in Australia with Motorsports Mechanical, Mick Mansour. I decided to give him a call. To be honest, I didn't expect him to even answer the phone, but not only did he answer, he was very friendly. When I told him what I was trying to do and what I wanted to build, he immediately wanted to assist and help. The motor was fully built in Australia by Motorsports Mechanical. It was shipped here in a crate. It was fully assembled, ready to go. And I have to say that we've had great help from them to this day. Anything we've ever needed, they've helped us with, advice, many different aspects of the build. They're definitely the kings of RBs, so it's definitely the right way to go. Some notables on the car as far as the engine build. We do have an N1 block with Nitto internals, of course Nitto crank, pistons, rods, rings. We do have an ATI damper. There's a stage 3 clutch on the car. It is an OEM transmission still to this point. There is a 76-75 precision dual ball bearing turbo. It's a Sportsman series. It's a very unique turbo. It actually spools a lot faster than what we expected. The car just a few days ago did just over 835 horsepower, and we still have quite a ways to go. Ultimately, like I said earlier, we are looking at about 1,000 horsepower. That is our goal, and I don't see any problem in achieving it very, very soon. People come up to me and ask me, what does it take to build a car like this? Or what are the 3 best things that you should do, or what you have to be careful of? My advice to them would be, number 1, definitely make a plan. You definitely need a plan. This is not your everyday car, to be honest. It's very difficult, like I said, parts, who's gonna build. Number 2 would be money. Once you set your plan, I would put some money aside and wait until you achieve the goal that you're looking for before you start spending. And number 3 is don't cheap out. Really, one thing that I've noticed is parts. Parts for these cars are very expensive. You see a lot of parts also offered on eBay. In my opinion, if you cheap out, you can end up paying in the long run. These cars need to be treated the way that you want to be treated from them. So that would be my advice. Put a plan together, save your money, and don't cheap out. I'm trying so hard. I don't know, man. I'm just so upset.
Yeah, no.
I'm so upset right now. I don't want to keep talking.
Most scrapyards will pick it up. I mean, they'll give you like 350 bucks.
I thought about it, man. I'm waiting for the 400.